of video 1 in the 2IB or not 2IB series. In this video, I am going to be looking at what I said in video 1, but the parts 2 and 3, since that kind of just made it too long, so here we are for part 2. So in this video, I will be looking at my top 3 recommendations that I reckon you guys should really focus on during the pandemic to maximize your IB score. And that doesn't mean to say like, if you guys are in a bit like a lesser situation, like not in a lockdown, you guys shouldn't focus on it, because yes, you still should. That's like, doesn't even go to say. So that's for part 2 of this video. And part 3, we'll be looking at my top IB and non-IB resources that I think worked like a charm in helping me understand all these difficult concepts in pretty much like 10 to 20 minutes. And I know my teachers tried really hard, I'm really sorry, but these resources were amazing. Like even better than classroom teaching, which I know you guys would be missing a lot and wishing was happening. But yeah, since we're in a pandemic, these resources, since they're all online, will be an amazing thing for you guys to access, use to maximize your IB score. So let's get started. Okay, so number 1 is to focus on your IAs. So if any of you guys are following any IB pages, I know Instagram has a really amazing IB page called Smart IB. They will tell you, like it is on their stories, their pages, everywhere, to just focus on your IAs. And I'm just here to emphasize that fact. And it's because your IAs can make the difference between, first of all, let's say if you're aiming for that 7, then it can make the difference between a 6 or a 7, or a 5 and a 6. Whatever it is that you're aiming for, your IAs can be the make it or break it. And second of all, during this time, we're in a pandemic, things have changed with how the IB kind of runs things. And I'm sure those of you who are in the IB right now know very well what I'm talking about. So during normal times, your IAs are worth 20% on average. And that means that 20% of whatever you get on your IA goes towards your final IB score. And the rest of the 80% is made up of your exams, which right now is a bit of a, not really a deal breaker, but yeah, we don't know what's happening with that. So that's why, guys, just do everything, like put in 110% to your IAs, because I know during our time, our IAs that should have been worth 20% had the possibility of changing to being worth 50%, 60%, and then finally even 100%, because during May 2020, the IB was like, okay, since everyone's kind of criticizing us, we should just make everything based on IAs. So you will probably know now how important it is just to focus on your IAs. And the next thing being is that since we are in a pandemic situation, if you guys are non-exam route, then yes, a lot of the IB scores are going to be based on whatever it is that you get on your IA and how you guys are performing in class as well. So more on that later. But IAs, say for example you decide to pull an all-nighter, then you guys are kind of like digging your own grave there and not really maximizing the chances of getting the highest IB score you guys could have got, getting into your degree and everything that falls on after that. So guys, do your best to just put everything into your IAs and maximize their score. So just aim for that 7 for all of the IAs across all 6 of your subjects. Okay, so IAs are really important during this time as opposed to normal times, which they are still important, but even more important right now. So number 1 is IAs. Okay, so number 2 is to not waste time. Now, I know during the pandemic, a lot of people are in lockdown. That means there is more time. People are feeling a lot more demotivated, and sleep just seems like the best thing to do during that time. So don't worry, I can relate a lot since I did fall asleep in classes as well. But that doesn't mean to say like you can do that every single day and kind of make that the habit instead of actually showing up to class, doing the work and putting in that effort. Because as much as we know there's a non-exam route, there is still every possibility that there could be exams. And if you guys seem to kind of like feel like, there's not going to be exams, we don't need to do anything, then let me introduce you to this quote by one of my teachers. He is absolutely amazing, and he said this: if you fail to prepare, then you are preparing to fail. And just kind of think about that, because I'm pretty sure, and I think it makes a whole lot of sense there. So regardless of if you guys are going to have exams or not, still put in that effort, okay? So always be prepared. Show up to class. I know it's really hard, and you know, with online learning and everything, it's so easy to fall asleep, but just do your best, okay? Show up to class, even come up to the start, and if you end up falling asleep, you end up falling asleep, but at least you showed up, okay? And that's already a really good thing that you've done for the day, for yourself, and for your education there. So really try your best to not procrastinate. So this is like a huge hypocritical statement from me, but still, try your best not to procrastinate. If you are procrastinating a lot, then discipline yourself there and just kind of find the time the next day to study and compensate for all that time you spent doing whatever it is that you do procrastinate. So guys, do your best to not waste time. And the other thing being is that, so during study period, if you guys are dead set, so it's definitely confirmed that you're going to have exams, during us, like our time, our teachers were actually online for some of the study period, and we could show up and ask questions and everything. So if the same thing is happening for you guys, then use that. It is so helpful. Like, I was here seeing students not even show up, and I'm just like, why? They, like, our teachers know shit. Like, go to them. They are going to help you out. And most of the time it's actually just me and the teacher, and I'm just there like, so what are we doing? And yeah, it gets awkward, but not really. So guys, do your best to use your teachers. Yes. Okay, they're the best resources, as I said in video 1, part 1 as well. But especially during study period. So, you know, email them. If they're online, go to the sessions. Okay, so that's going to solve like probably 50 to 60% of your exam stress problems and everything that follows on after that. So number 2 is do your best to not waste time, because if you fail to prepare, then you prepare to fail. Okay, so number 3 is to really do everything you can to maximize your 3 points from the inner core component. So IB has a component called the inner core, which consists of a few components. So one is TOK, so theory of knowledge, and the second one is the EE, which is your extended essay. And how that works is that, you know, there's like this point system, which I'll explain in another video, but basically the maximum number of points you can get is 3, and they can also be pretty much like the make it or break it for your IB score. I know for me it was like, if I wasn't able to get those 3 points, then yeah, I wouldn't be in the degree I am right now because of a whole ton of other stuff that happened. But needless to say, you guys have this extra time, so use it. Use it to put in even more work into that TOK and EE. Like, TOK is so freaking mind breaking. I don't want to go back. So for you guys, for you to minimize the stress during that time when you guys are doing your TOK or TOK essay, really put in that time, because if you're going to pull an all-nighter for TOK, you either have to be a god or just good luck. So yeah, so maximize your 3 points and do your best to just put in all the time and effort you can so that you can get the best score you can from this absolutely crazy program. Okay, so number 3 is to just maximize your 3 points for your inner core components. Right, so now we're finally on to our last part of this video, which is about the resources. I am going to be talking about these in the order of the IB subjects I took during my time in the diploma program. So here we go. They're going to be displayed somewhere along the side of the screen as well, so just keep track of that. So the first one I'm going to be looking at is IB Biology, both SL and HL. And the best resources for this, if you guys aren't using them already, there is BioNinja and Alex Lee. So BioNinja is a website which has existed since like the 2016 or like the 2016 or the one above, no, the one before it, Silver Change before it. And this website is just amazing to hit all of those understandings, get that extra information that sometimes Oxford won't be providing you. And with that being said, guys, if you guys are having bio exams, then please use the Oxford textbook, because the guy who wrote it is also the guy who kind of like supervises the exam writing and everything. So the mark scheme actually comes directly from Oxford. So that's going to be your golden buzzer to getting a stipend in IB Biology, SL or HL. And Alex Lee is a YouTube teacher, IB Biology teacher, YouTuber, whatever you want to call him. And he goes into IB Bio test papers, how to do a few specific type of questions, but he also covers IB Biology content on YouTube and explains them really thoroughly and in a way that's like makes it a lot more easier to understand than if you're just reading a textbook. So that's for IB Bio. Next one I'm going to be going into is IB Chem, so both SL and HL. So the websites I found were really helpful for Chem. The first one is MSJ Chem. If you are not using him already and you guys are in IB, then please do begin. Like, if you end up needing to cram for chemistry, which I hope you don't, guys, please. But if you are in that situation, then MSJ Chem, my man, has got you. He is amazing at just kind of stuffing everything into really short, like 3 to 5 minute long videos. And you know, if you're needing to cram, then what's better than 3 minutes or less of IB Chem content, especially HL content, for your test the next day. So MSJ Chem, guys, is a lifesaver. The next one is IB Alchemy. So IB Alchemy is very similar to Bio Ninja for IB Bio, in the sense that it hits all its understandings. The setup is really well planned out, really clear, and it's just a nice way to read through all the information. If you guys are wanting to pre-read or just kind of understand it a bit better, so IB Alchemy is really good. There's some other IB chemistry websites which I don't remember right now, but there's a lot out there that you guys can use. The next one I'm going to talk about is IB Business. Now, Business used to have a really nice website. By the way, for IB Business, there's a lot of websites now that kind of offer business notes instead of like actual questions, which I know isn't the best, but it's still something. So IB Business Notes has a lot of content that you guys can look at. In Thinking, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot this one. In Thinking is really good for all your IB subjects, guys, because it is a IB made website and it's used for both teachers and students. So for IB Business, if your teachers have allowed you to get access to more kind of exclusive content, then it's great, because there's questions on there, there's some example videos, and it's just overall really good for business as well as all the other subjects like biochem, physics, and everything else. So In Thinking is really, really good. The next one I'm going to be looking at is languages. So for me, I did French ab initio, and grammar, as for any language, is a really big thing. And during online learning, even though you do have access to your teacher like a lot through your emails, other ways you can access them, but it's just not as quick as having a website that can do it for you. So for French, these two websites, which I'm going to link in the description box below, were really good. So the first one is Bon Peton, and it is amazing at just kind of picking up all your grammar mistakes and even looking at the appropriateness of the words you've chosen to use. Google Translate is not good, guys. Please do not use Google Translate if you're going to check your grammar. If you guys are going to use Google Translate, just do it for the speaking, but not for the grammar. Bon Peton is really good for the grammar. And there was another one which I can't remember. It might have been called Francophone. I really don't remember, but it's still going to be linked in the description box below. So these two websites were amazing to help out your French grammar. I'm sure they exist for other languages as well, so just have a search on Dr. Google. And now onto our non-IB resources. So first one is going to be Crash Course. Like, Crash Course is the lord and savior of any curriculum out there. Like, I swear to God, even like uni students like me still use Crash Course, guys. It is amazing. Crash Course was originally made for anatomy and physiology, so IB Bio, guys, it is made for you. Like, if you're going to read up, pre-read, try and understand stuff, again, if you're needing to cram, Crash Course has got you. My man Hank Green is amazing at just crashing, whatever you want to call it, all this information into like less than 10 minutes, just 10 to 12 minutes, and you guys have all this knowledge in your brain cells you can use to regurgitate in the exam the next day. So Crash Course is really good. Crash Course does also exist now for a lot of other subjects. I use it for chemistry, now for economics, and it exists for a lot of other educational branches as well. Whatever you guys can think of, Crash Course has got it. So Crash Course is number one. The other one, so even though I didn't do IB economics, I know ACDC Econ would definitely help you guys out if you guys are thinking of doing economics in IB. So ACDC Econ, there's a lot of other websites, IB economics websites that are going to help you out, so take a look at those. Everything that I've mentioned, guys, in this part is in the description box below, so they can all be in one spot for you guys to access. And yeah, they're all there. So these are my resources, guys, that really helped me out during my time in the IB, helped me just have access to something other than my teachers during online learning. And you know, if you guys are in prolonged online learning environments, then it's these things that are going to save your score, guys. Not just your teachers, it's these resources and websites that I've talked about here. So please have a look at them, use them, and yes, hope they help you guys. Okay, so we're finally at the end of this kind of short, kind of long, how to get a 44 pandemic edition part 2. That was such a long phrase. But anyways, I hope you guys have found these tips, recommendations, whatever you call them, really helpful and will take them seriously, because I know these tips have helped countless other students, they have helped me, and I hope they can help you guys as well get the maximum score during such a crappy pandemic season, time, whatever it is. So guys, good luck and just keep on going. If you guys are in a lockdown and are doing online learning, just keep swimming, guys. Be like Dory and just keep swimming. If you guys aren't in a lockdown and it's kind of a bit more normal for you guys, good luck. You guys have got this, all of you guys. I know you can do it because you've been given everything you can. Just use the resources, maximize your time, do your best to not procrastinate, and just have fun while doing it. So guys, like, subscribe, comment as always to help me make more videos for you guys, and let me know, how do you think IB went for you guys? How was your talking E? Do you guys have any other tips that maybe the students, upcoming students, should know about the IB? And yeah, good luck, keep going, keep on surviving, and I will see all of you guys for another video. Bye bye. Yes, I love today, this so much. Oh. There's another car, guys. Ah, I'm so annoyed. So yes, you know what's really annoying? We're supposed to be in lockdown right now, and there's probably 10 cars that have passed through the street in less than 1 hour. Like, why? Are you guys trying to run away from something? Like, what the heck? Anyways,